Welcome back, everybody, to this week's episode of Inside the Slot. It's been a little bit more than what's it, 2 weeks or a week maybe?
2 weeks.
We're trying to get this train of Inside the Slot rolling, okay?
Yes. Last time we were shooting this, we were not in this state.
We were in Chicago. And that was a crazy episode. So many things have happened since then. Let's do a little recap. We've been living inside the slot since then.
I got lost outside of the slot that first weekend when we came back. I told you. I went out with some of my hometown friends, and I convinced myself I couldn't get drunk anymore.
Classic.
Sometimes I convince myself that I can't get drunk anymore.
She can't find the slot.
I'm no, drugs don't work on me. Alcohol doesn't work on me. It just, I try and drink. I was trying to get inside the slot, and I just was continuously sober. So I took it upon myself to test this theory.
On Saturday night?
On Friday night. So, the Friday that I left you from Chicago.
Okay.
Then I tried to test this theory, and I drank about 4 shots of Jameson and 2 bottles of rosé by myself this night. Yeah, when I was trying to RKO everyone. I can get drunk.
Wait, yeah.
Don't worry.
Theory's tested. She can still get drunk.
I actually also I jumped right over the slot. Whatever is past slot.
Sometimes if you don't ease into it, the slot gets a little blurry.
Yeah, it was.
I was with Kelly for a week straight, and then I left her, and the night that I left her, she texted me at 6 a.m. and was like, just going to bed now. Crazy night ahead. And then proceeded to tell me that she sauntered the city with a Chicago man that she had just met.
I did. No, he's not even from Chicago.
It was literally actually a fucking world traveler or something.
But to be honest, I felt like I met him, and I was like, you might be my best friend.
But do you think that you do that with a lot of people?
Yes. I've become very personal very quick.
Which also, is a good quality.
My friend was trying to explain this to me, so I'll sum up this story quick. So basically, in the streets, honestly, I was looking for a dispensary, and there wasn't one. It was a scam. So I ended up going to this bar, and as I was looking for the dispensary, this guy was also looking for the dispensary. His name's Luke. I'm not going to say his last name.
Sidewalk.
So on the sidewalk. So placing already to meet, should have factored that in more. Didn't. And then we go to this bar, and then I'm with 2 of my other friends, so I wasn't alone. But then my 2 other friends leave, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stay here with Luke. Billy Joel's playing.
Luke is my soulmate.
Yeah, I think we're best friends in a different life. So yeah. So I end up staying with him. Then we meet more people. We meet this girl, Meg, which I was calling her.
They were calling her the Meg.
Yeah, she's a little
referencing to the large megalodon shark that eats people.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry,
she
Meg.
wasn't large in size and by any means. She was just a little crazy. She was the one that was the vet, and then her next door neighbor, he has 2 pit bulls, and they both got shot in the head. And then she only saved. Also, I'm like, Meg, is this a real story? And then they only saved one of the dogs and not the other dog, and that was the favorite dog, yada yada.
This is a crazy
Basically,
story.
I'm with the Meg and Luke. Then we ditch the Meg. We find this guy named Juan. Then we ditch Juan. Then me and Luke go back, and Luke was staying in his car. So I was like, you can stay in my hotel.
Which is where it gets a little if I was in the situation with Kelly, I'd say, we're leaving. Your friends left. Yeah. Let's go home and sleep, or maybe do a nightcap somewhere else. We don't need to make these people our best friends.
Yeah, I don't. And I'm literally me and Luke. I'm have my arm around him. I'm like, look at Chicago, Luke. We fucking own this place, man. No, we don't. And don't bring random people into your hotel room that you don't know.
That was crazy.
Yeah, he just, my friend.
Kelly gave him a shower, maybe some toothpaste.
Yeah,
which is great and helpful, but that's also a random man you're letting in. They're sleeping next to each other, completely platonic. Then he woke up the next morning and went on his merry way.
Yeah.
That's insane.
We didn't even exchange numbers. But also to this is how my friend Owen, I feel like you would agree with this. My friend Owen was I was telling him the story and he's laughing. And he's like, okay, but now to get serious for a second, it's so awesome how optimistic you can be. And I love that you see the cup half full.
The good in people.
But there comes a time when we got to get a little realistic and practical here. And unfortunately, not everyone is only good. So you have to be a little more practical.
Which I feel I talk to you about all the time.
You're
it's not a bad thing, but it's just more wait a second.
Yeah.
This person could literally stab me with a knife in a second. Or if you just don't know the people.
Yeah.
But, so that
was supposed to be a recap.
That story started about how she couldn't find the slot and ended up with a man in a hotel room platonically who needed a shower. The night before that too, we also went to O'Callahan's in Chicago and literally proceeded to have like 11 Guinnesses
Yeah.
all on our own. It was so fun.
Perfect. Yeah. But
Then I
go
went on my
on from
merry
that. What
way.
else? What else did you have going on? What was going on?
I was in Chicago,
yes.
and then I left Chicago and was like, woohoo! And came back to New York City and like just needed time to myself to really just conjure up
Sometimes
what
you need
happened.
that. Yeah.
It was surviving bar, so I can't talk about it, but it was crazy.
Yeah.
And
She
then
needed a little time to reacclimate
I just reacclimated
to regular life.
seeing the outside.
Yeah.
And then and then I went to a wedding. I was a plus one at a wedding. It was so much fun.
You looked so pretty in your dress.
Thank you. It was literally rented from Newly, $97 for 6 dresses.
Yeah, I love that thing. The only thing is, I'm so not committed to like that stuff. Like I'm like, that sounds like such a great idea, and like I want to do it. Like I want to do it, but like I just don't see myself.
Well, my sister did it, so
Yeah,
I
she-
didn't
yeah,
do
and
it, and
she's
she'll
a
return
she's
it,
a
and then the
baller,
next one
yeah.
I might be able to get a dress or something. But I love that dress. It was a Catholic wedding. If you know me, I'm not Catholic, so I was like, up, down, praise the Lord. I don't know. Like I was so.
She had to go up and say amen. I mean, meanwhile, on the opposite end of the spectrum, I was an altar server for like
Yeah.
7 years of my life. So
Which is really funny. I didn't even go up for communion because he was like, if you want to come up but you're not Catholic, you can. And I was like, I feel like I'm going to even mess that up. But it was beautiful. I love a wedding, love a live band. And it was great. And now we're here.
and now we're here.
And we wanted to get a little inside the slap before we go to Dallas. So we actually leave for Dallas tomorrow in the
with our
morning.
girl Pay and our boy Josh.
And we're going to go to the Texas State Fair, maybe a rodeo.
Yes.
I tried
Are
on my
you gonna-
outfit. Doesn't fit. So I have no fucking clue what I'm going to wear.
Well, you know, it's all right. You'll look great in anything, even if it's like little garbage bag.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Are you going
but
to try some gator?
No, definitely not. I'm definitely just going
I'm
to
going to do it.
saunter around.
I'm going to do it.
And then we go to the game, which I'm excited for.
Yes,
Because
I'm
we
really
met
excited to be in
Texas
the game.
fans at Michigan, which was really
Horns
a lot of
up.
fun. And we low-key were going horns up at Michigan, which
Yeah.
is like, why are we doing that?
I don't. You're just being a little.
And
picky,
Michigan
but-
feels like ages ago. Like, I feel like
I know.
I'm
I feel like
40.
I've lived 80 lives since then.
Literally. But for this week's episode, we wanted to bring in a special guest. I'm going to
Yeah.
text him right now.
Yeah, bring them out. Bring them out.
Our good friend, Jack Mack. So we're going to just talk all things Jack Mack this episode and about his lore.
So what everyone needs and wants to know.
Jack Mack was my first friend at Barstool, and he is just an amazing guy. And he's really funny and witty.
Yeah,
so we're
he
just gonna
is.
pick his brain.
And he's really nice.
I hear him.
Yeah.
I hear him coming in.
Dun, 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 dun.
I have questions to ask him.
Dun, 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 dun.
on my story too.
Dun, 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 dun,
I can hear you from a
dun,
mile away.
dun, dun.
We have a lot of questions.
Oh, we have a lot of questions.
Jack
Also, did you update them about what's going on here?
No, not yet.
Okay,
Okay, well,
so-
welcome in, Jack Mack.
Hi, I'm Jack.
Thank you for being the first guest.
This was actually supposed to start
a little-
53 minutes ago.
A
but
little
Wow.
bit over a year ago, me and you were sitting in these exact two chairs doing,
Jack
yeah,
and
like 15
Jim.
months, I would say.
doing Jack and Jim.
15 months ago.
Yeah.
What did I say? Over a year? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I was piggying back off of that. I am honored to be here, but Jack and Jim, it's probably still on.
It's probably should be
still on the
yes. Try to
flash
Jay and
find
drive.
Jay, yo.
It's literally a selfie that we took when we were like, I was like, oh my God, it was probably like a Thursday. I was so tired. I was wearing a dress. It was early on.
Yes, you wore like
still
a
have-
green dress.
No, pink. And you still have long
Long
hair
hair.
in it.
Jack
And
and
I
Jim's
remember
food
seeing
and
that.
liquor.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, it was a great. And
People loved it.
I remember Dave asked like, "What's your plan for that night?" And I was like, "There's no plan there. That was just. It was almost like preseason, if
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah.
It was like it was scrimmage. It was a
Yeah.
scrimmage.
And I'm so grateful for it. You know what? I missed that. Look, I clearly like to have my feet up. Damn.
But
what did I have?
There, you remember there was a table here.
Oh, yeah.
It was
They
like
took
you would
away.
put. It was there to put something like a body armor or whatnot, but
That is
they
so
removed
funny.
it.
Remember one time we came in and the Jack and Jim was like deleted and we were like, yo.
Who did it?
We got off.
Did he find out who did it?
No,
Probably
it like-
honestly was just a computer issue.
Oh, so it wasn't like personal.
probably not. But
But
that
you never
was so
know.
fun. And you like
Who
trained
would
me.
fight?
Like,
What duo could take on Jack and Jim in the office?
Well, back then, like think about it.
No
we
one.
weren't made yet. Like we're not to say we're made now, but
Low key,
we've gotten bigger.
We paved our own path.
Yeah.
110%, and we kind of just like
She
stood in the
still
corner.
does the thing where she
moves
grabs
it
onto
around.
the mic, and I'm
I'm
like,
like-
you shouldn't do that because it messes up the audio.
Well, no, but this literally trained me because this was the only I remember the first one we did, and I was so nervous, and I was like, now it's a breeze. You trained me.
And all of these, there's
Mentor.
6, but there was more like we did a few before the 6
Yes,
that
we didn't
were
record.
like that didn't go out.
Yeah.
So those are. Could we still drop those? Could those?
We had some funny like clips on that. Remember when I was talking about my 21st birthday, and you were like,
Johnny Manziel, remember? You're like, this Johnny Manziel
Yeah,
guy. Did you
Diego-
watch the documentary?
Diego trying to make us do trivia. I'm
Johnny
like,
football.
Oh yeah, the dozen
Trivia.
trivia
Yes,
game.
I
which
was
is like,
bad
why
at
are
that.
we doing that?
We
it's
were.
fun.
No, you liked that game,
I guess, yeah.
but it was awesome, and I think it definitely helped you, like on mic, and then also it was kind of perfect because you were on BFFs probably a month after.
Yeah.
A month after it kind of blew up. Not a month after. Not
Yeah,
it blew up.
Jack and Jim didn't
Jack
blow
and
up.
Jem.
Jack
ended
and Jam.
Yeah, and then it ended.
because you went back to school.
I remember the last time we were like, bye. Don't know what will happen with this. It was just great.
But it was funny when Dave was, "What's your plan with that?" I was like, there was never a
No
plan.
plan.
No. You guys
But
were
it
just
was in this
spitballing.
room, or I think we only
No, it was
did in
scrimmage.
this one.
Only did it in
I like
this
that you
one.
call it a scrimmage.
Yeah, it was a scrimmage.
Anyways,
It was a fall season.
yes, it was fall season, and then I went to my fall season of lacrosse. That's
Oh my!
crazy.
I still can't believe you made it through that.
I know, literally miserable.
I mean,
She's a warrior.
I can, but that was insane.
yeah.
Shout
So,
out Marist.
Literally. What did you come in
Foxes.
here saying that you wanted to update? You said,
Yeah.
did you give them all the rundown? The Mets are you talking about?
No, I was saying that this was supposed to start at 3:00.
Oh.
And you texted me at 3:03. Good. I'm gonna be 30 minutes late. And then I responded. I think I
Oh, she
responded,
said-
"OMG."
No, you said, oh my fucking God.
And then I didn't respond for like 10 minutes to be dramatic. She was like, "Are you mad? Are you mad?"
No, I
wasn't
said,
mad.
don't be mad. He's like, I'm not mad. I'm like,
I asked Maddie if before this I said, "Do you want to pull a prank on Jack back?"
And not show up. Oh, that would have been
No,
funny.
no, we would have.
Well, you kind of pulled the prank on me yesterday when you sent me a voice memo that sounded as if, because I'd never gotten a text separately from you before, and
is
it was a
crazy.
voice memo, and this voice memo I have to say
it.
sounded like a. I
man.
thought it was
It
like
was a man. It sounded like a man.
Her friend or something that took her phone and was like, "Oh, I'll send a text to Jack Mac."
Oh.
It was like,
It was like, "Baby, lock them doors, them turn them lights
and I
down
thought, I was like,
low."
"Oh, this is just like a frat guy or like a lacrosse guy."
It's literally
or something.
Kelly.
It's literally me on the LIRR board, and I was like, "Let me text
But the
Jack."
Mets
back.
game.
Yeah, so Kelly and I went to the Mets game last night. It was the first time
It
I ever
was
went to City Field before. Slash, no, that was my first ever baseball. Oh no,
No,
because
'cause
I
you
went to the Yankees game. So that was my first time I've ever been to.
Yeah,
City
but when we
Field,
went to the
though.
Yankees game, we weren't really paying attention. We were
Yeah,
paying
you guys
attention.
went during like the spring.
School,
right?
Yeah.
and it was like we were in the fucking nosebleeds. But this one we had our own spot. It was fucking.
They had a
lit.
little juice bomb.
Yeah,
at the
2
end.
IPAs.
I had a hot dog.
And I mean, it was packed.
Yeah,
How'd you
it
guys
was.
Did you take the LIR back?
Yeah,
It's
took
literally
the
it was.
subway
Well, we took the
back.
subway back to.
Right to Grand
Yeah. Oh,
Central.
because I went to a comedy club after that.
interesting.
I went to the
Okay.
stand.
So how long did it take to get on the 7 line?
It literally.
We
2
got
seconds.
right there,
We walked
yeah.
right
Interesting.
on.
So the other night I went, and then I waited to get on the LIR back to Penn Station, and it took.
A minute.
We were waiting for a little bit up
Yeah.
there.
The subway right
Yeah,
to Grand
no.
Central, and then boom, I took the 6 all the way to Bleecker. Walked
Bleecker.
home. Yeah.
6 trains. 6 trains legit.
Yeah.
Shout out Grand Central. I used to when I was an intern. For people that don't know, just
Yeah, let's do a little
backstory.
background.
Yeah.
I started here as an intern 2017. And don't tell me you were in high school then.
I was literally freshman in high school.
As a sophomore.
And I was a sophomore in college at Fordham
go.
University in
Yes.
the Bronx.
Okay.
Bronx.
There's a few Fordham
Yeah.
alums here.
Yes,
The Rams.
Tommy Smokes, KFC,
It's really pretty there. I've been.
Spider, who's in
Yes.
Chicago.
Yes.
Um,
Spitty's bad.
there's probably a few others upstairs that are. I think MB technically went to Fordham, but she's a Vandy alum. All that being said, I started here, 2017, and we were at the old office, which was 27th and Madison.
What? Was it mini?
Yes. You could see old videos. If you look up old school Barstool videos, it was this office. There was 2 floors. Everyone was on top of each other. but Dave came in every day. Everyone was in every day. Big Cat was in every day. It was a lot of fun.
So there's a lot of camaraderie.
But I used to come in every day, not every day, but I would say 4 times a week. When I didn't have class, I took the Grand Central train, which is the Metro North, from Fordham
Classic.
Yes, the Metro North.
down to Grand Central. Then you would take the 6 down to 28th. Now, me and Tommy would be on the Metro North. It's
They
kind
would
of funny.
chit-chat.
You look back. We would take it together, but we kind of had an agreement. We were like, unless there was something really going on,
Don't talk.
we weren't talking.
Which is
Yeah.
great.
Like we would take it together and we
Yeah.
would walk together, but
But
That's
have
kinda
your
crazy,
headphones
like-
in.
So
yeah,
was this like an-
or like it was just
Yeah.
like you're on your phone or like
Yeah.
drinking your coffee.
Was that a lot to balance, like school and?
No, a little bit, but I would say it would have been impossible as an athlete.
100.
Well, how much also, like, how long did that take you to, like, how long was the commute? Because
The commute, no. The commute was
like
so like
40 minutes,
So
right?
like if I woke up right in my apartment,
Yeah.
then it would take 10 minutes to walk to Metro North. Metro North was probably, depending on if it was express or not, probably take 20 to 30 minutes, and then another 20 minutes to get. So yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it's like 40.
it was like 40 to minutes to 50 to an hour, depending on the day.
Yeah.
But I guess when you're young, you don't even think about it.
Yeah. And also, you're doing something you love. And
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
so
And it
doesn't
felt so
matter.
surreal as a kid, like as a sophomore in college, to be going
You're like,
to
"Let's fucking
Barstool.
go."
Yeah.
Yeah. So-
Also, it was even surreal to even go into the city from
Yeah.
Fordham, if that makes sense, because it was like the Bronx and Fordham's this own little bubble,
Yeah.
and then you go into Manhattan, and you're like, oh. But a
whole
lot of people
different-
did that at Fordham.
Yeah. So when did you get the full-time hire? Or you did
Right after school.
right after you graduated?
Right after I graduated, but that was when I was more, and I've been on the social team, and I'm not on it anymore technically. I still help, but I got hired as social media.
Social
Really?
media.
Like,
What? Consultant?
No, social media.
Graphic design.
I forget my
Creator?
exact. I think it
the
was-
face.
You could just say social media manager. I helped.
Yeah,
a
but
lot
you didn't
with
have a
that.
TikTok then.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
So that's 2019. TikTok was around, right? Or was that? It was probably Musically.
2020 is when it became like.
Yeah, 20. No, but it was around in 2019 because I know I remember saving this one guy freshman year, and I didn't know you could like save it like
What was his name?
I don't remember
Is
his
he
name.
think
I literally
he's-
could like find it on my phone.
he
like, right
Saving
now.
this one guy. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
is he-
I would
is he
say I
still
thought this
around?
one guy was so funny, and I would save it all the time. But like, I didn't know you could
I
like
thought it was
save
gonna
it
be,
into your
like,
TikTok.
Some
crush.
guy dancing around with like
Oh no.
like a cowboy hat.
So then you got the job.
Got the job.
Mm-hmm.
Came
Social
in.
media manager.
Love.
I also blogged. Then I also was doing a lot of the college football shows.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then
He was on the college football show, and then Dave was like, your face is a little punchable.
I was on the college football show that you guys, you're not on the college football show, but you guys go with
Yeah,
them
we
on
follow
the
him.
Cheez-It.
Oh, sorry, it was
know.
this guy by the way, Mitchell.
Oh, is he still around?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in a minute.
But look where
For
the
those
TikTok logo
listening.
is.
Honey, come look at these birds.
Like I don't know. He just did like really
Yeah,
random
it was-
stuff, and I thought it was funny.
So it's
anyway,
2019.
yeah.
Anyways, college football.
2019, and then I got kicked off after one show.
Yes.
Dave thought I was boring, whatnot. He said I cried. in
Meanwhile,
his
you were
room.
literally nervous, probably.
I was nervous. I didn't perform well enough. It was almost like if the coach called you in, and you thought you were ready.
You're at the end of the
Yeah.
bench, and he gave you the
And
opportunity.
then it was just like, oh no. And then there was a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Didn't work out, but I still was allowed to be on the college football podcast that we have on Necessary Roughness. And then I was still allowed to blog, and I still did the social media, which was great.
Yeah. So great.
What about the numbers stuff that I see you sometimes doing?
Oh, that's
Completely different.
completely different.
Oh, that's unspoken here.
That's on no. That's like no. Yeah, numbers.
Okay. Anyways, then you
then-
continue to do that,
I continued to do that for a while, and then COVID happened.
and then the green screen came to play.
Then I probably really only started to do the green screen around, I would say,
Wait,
winter.
we're missing
no,
a pivotal point. Sorry to interrupt. Barstool Athletics.
Nope, that's
You ran that,
Barstool Athletics was later.
like being a Barstool athlete.
Yeah, that was
Nice.
later. That was like 2022.
Yeah, because I was in college.
But I'm still in 2020.
Okay, sorry. Wow, we're doing a deep dive
yeah.
for those
And then I'll
listening.
go,
We'll put a timeline up.
2020 is going on. And then I probably made my first real TikTok on the green screen in 2021. but it was more college football. And then I thought, oh, maybe I could do this about other stuff. Then I started in 2021 making it about all the stuff that I do now. And after that, it's kind of history. And then from there, I found a lot of like creators, and then I found Maddie. I remember I followed her. And then it was around the same time that the Barstool Athletes launched, which was like...
everyone has to remember who's watching. It was like being a Barstool athlete was like the biggest thing. Like putting Barstool athlete in your bio.
And you got sent like
huge.
the sweatpants and the sweatshirt.
Yeah, but like they didn't send, like I was a Barstool athlete and I never got sent things. They were like, it was like not poorly ran, I hate to say, but it was like apply in the Google form.
No,
and then,
it could have been ran a lot better.
Yeah.
I think even like Dave would admit that.
You could definitely get that vibe. But it was a great idea for what it was.
Yes. And
is that still a...
No, I feel like there was one
died.
thing we really could have taken advantage of, but it was just like Barstool, as you guys have seen, there's a billion things going on. And then it was just, you know...
With NIL too.
NIL, and then we also had the sports book at the time, so there was a little bit of a situation where it's like, wait, you're influencing college athletes and you also have a sports book, so there was a little bit of a like gambling or whatnot.
Yeah, totally.
So I think there was probably lawyers who said, hey, maybe we should... We can still do it, but Dave, you can't be involved in it. And then when Dave wasn't involved, he was like, let's focus on other
And then
things.
I feel like when the athletes found that, it was like just, you get to say you're a Barstool athlete and you get a sweatshirt. It like wasn't really, there was no like benefit behind
There really
it.
wasn't. And they didn't really limit it. They let anybody be
literally
it.
anybody.
You could have been I'm sure there's a walk-on for a D3 school listening right now. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I think the athletes should have been D1, top tier, or... You have to show you're funny, or not even funny, entertaining. Like maybe your story is
or maybe
I had like a torn ACL a billion times, but I'm finishing my sports career.
It was literally anyone under the sun.
Under the sun,
and it was a Google
NAIA.
form.
It was like you could be at like Montclair State on it. Like come on, like
I mean, I was fun and we were at Maris, so and then that fell through, but that's how we found each other.
But I actually think. We followed each other before
TikTok
that.
First,
but then I remember I saw because you were talking about the lacrosse stuff and whatnot. And then you did a video. I was like, hey, I'm gonna send this to the Barstool Athletes team because I didn't run it, but as you guys can see, everyone is together. Like Peyton does a billion things. Shut up, Peyton. And then if you're working on one thing at Barstool, you know almost everybody that works on everything.
Yeah.
And then from there,
what video
2023 of her, I think it was.
It was dancing. It was me, Jamie, and Che, and it was like.
But the first video I saw of her was, I think it was like at your old house, like talking in the mirror.
Yeah, probably that, or, like it did my day in the life montages.
I think that's what it was.
Something like that.
Like when she started talking, though. Too.
Yes. And then 2023 comes around, and. It was December-ish?
It was
No, January?
Yeah, it must have been then because that's when you start looking for like a summer internship. So
and
I was like, but we were like, I would like DM about like, hey, I don't know. I think I was the one to be like, what, any internships there?
No.
Oh.
I think I said, hey, would you be interested? Because I remember probably around the time people were talking about internships at Barstool, like within Barstool. There was probably you popped up on my For You page. And then I was like, wait a second, like maybe we can see. And then I was like, hey, would you be interested in a Barstool internship? And then you were like,
so did you create
100%.
The social? Did you create the social Barstool intern?
No.
Because wasn't there not one before that? Wasn't there hasn't there never been like a social?
No, there was one
like
every
Tommy
year.
one. Tommy
and I was not
one.
his intern. Like we made that whole thing up. Like I wasn't.
Yeah, that was
a whole bit.
That was a bit.
That was literally like he was like, oh, my intern. Like
but,
it was literally not.
I remember we came up with it in the kitchen, and I was like,
in 2
we could
seconds.
do like a bit, and then it just kind of like went from there. She was never, spoiler alert, she was never actually my intern, but from there I remember asking, and then she applied, and then Ben liked her.
But they like secretly watched me for like 2 months. I remember saying that too. Like Ben was like, oh yeah, we've been watching. We saw your spring break vlogs. And that was like a month before I was on the internship. I was like, oh, you saw that? Like me and Myrtle Beach with the lacrosse team. So they like liked the vibe, which is lit.
And then Gaz had to approve it because you were going to be social and like content.
Which means
that's what I meant, content, not social. I meant was she the first content intern?
No, like Glennie Balls was technically a content intern.
Yeah, same with that.
Ria was technically a content intern.
Same with the girl who did like Barstool U.
Yeah, what's oh my god,
I forget her name.
What fuck? Blonde?
Cat.
Cat.
Yeah. So there was content interns, but mine was technically social. And I didn't know that at Barstool social meant like if you're a social intern, you like run the pages and you post things. So content was like you only post. And then within like 2 days, they were like, you actually get only content.
Yeah, and I remember telling Gaz, like, I think the vision for her is content, but she's willing to help with like a bunch of things, like whether that be social
hard.
and
I
then like
couldn't
in
do
the
it.
office and whatnot. But then obviously there's like when we bring interns in, we don't have to really plans. Like we kind of do. And you kind of got caught in this weird thing, but you did do other things.
Yeah.
Like you helped with KFC.
I remember that.
Like,
That
and
was
that's what
crazy.
and like you would like help write down ideas and whatnot. You didn't run a page, but
No,
you did.
but I was helping other people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go up there and be like, yo, Peyton.
I remember when you first were finding out if you were gonna get the Barstool internship, and we were on the bus, and you were like, "I have to tell you." Something.
Yeah, we were on the bus home
She
from
literally
Canisius.
whispered. She was like, "I can't tell anyone. Like, I have to tell you." And I remember you told me, and I was
So
like,
I remember.
we were
I was
going,
like
we were like-
devastated, like because
Yeah.
not devastated that I got it, but devastated because I was like, we
was
had
after a
just
loss, right?
lost to Canisius. We're getting
You were
yelled at every
devastated
weekend.
about
Our
that?
team
Oh, yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
I'm literally on a
a-
5-hour bus
that's-
ride home from
yeah.
Buffalo. I'm like, where am I going in life? Am I going to be an
And
insurance
it was hot
helper?
and sweaty. We stank bad.
And
Couldn't shower.
I remember
Chuck
Before-
Nasso emailed me.
like a week before, I heard that she got it, but I was so concerned that it was going to fall through, and I didn't want to tell her she
Right.
got it
Yeah.
and then didn't
Why
get
did
it.
you think it was going to fall through?
You work here now. Things just fall apart here.
True.
Like you can
She's like, could have just like,
Yeah,
beheaded-
not personal. Like
No,
just
yeah.
Also, it wasn't personal. It was more so from the perspective of like, imagine I told this. Imagine I
got
told
my
this
hopes
poor
up.
college girl that was in the midst of an awful lacrosse season, and she was not showered coming home from Canisius, and then they were actually like, "Sorry, we don't have the funds."
no budget.
that would be.
But that didn't
That
happen.
would be.
So that's why I didn't say before that. Before I was like, I'm gonna let the official people do it because
Yeah.
people above me, like Chuck, who pretty much runs our social team, and then Gaz, were the ones that would officially. But Ben told me, and then Chuck told me he was like, yeah, Movie's gonna get it, and I was like,
Which
oh,
is
okay, cool.
lit. That's crazy
And
to
then-
think about.
Then, and then
I had like 50,000 followers, which is crazy too.
no.
That's
At
something
that
I
time,
have.
you had like 35, and then you got 10,000 from that video of showing the new house to your dad.
Yes, I remember that video.
Remember it
That
went, like,
went
mega
really
yes,
viral.
yes, which was the
Yes.
house I lived in senior year.
Yeah.
That was like my first. It
And
had
then
like
he was
12
like-
million views. He was like, what? He was like, and like scraped his
He
head.
just scraped his head. Yeah, it was very
Now
funny.
so
Yeah.
many people do that. That's like.
Yeah.
And then 50, and then you left with after the summer like
100.
125.
It was like 101. I literally came in, I always say, with 52K. And
Yep.
then I left with like 101. And then I dropped merch and it hit 100K and then
Yes.
became employed. And I was like, see ya.
And then it's funny because people are like, "Oh, the internship was what changed it, but it's like what elevated." It doesn't really even compare to what happened then when you went to school.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a whole different.
But
Oh.
that being said, though, during the summer, the internship was just like, it was a lot of this random stuff.
It
We would
was
do
so
like funny
fun.
videos.
I was in here every day, which is crazy because now I'm really not in here live.
Yeah, but
Till 5 p.m.
yeah,
an
it was
hour and
fun.
a half
And then you would
commute.
run.
Always running to get
You
the
would
train.
run to get the train,
sprint,
and you would say,
yeah.
and what was the train? 5:18.
Yeah.
And then she would leave at like 5:13. I was like, "There's no way you're gonna make that."
I would always make it.
And then she would be like, "Oh, made it."
She literally is like someone who can like you always make it work. Like
Yeah.
no matter like if the odds are against her, like you have 2 minutes to get there, or like you always make it.
But I like,
Yeah,
I just,
slippy like
it
that.
is right there. But
It
it
is.
is. But it's
Yeah, but it's-
then you
it's-
have to get to the track.
Yeah.
But
I had
then
7
every
minutes. I
transit,
missed
it's,
it.
like,
I had 7
quick.
minutes. I missed it. I had to sit and prep for 40 minutes.
LIR is a little different.
Yeah.
Though. You got to go a little bit
But
further.
there's a hack to the if you're closer to the LIRR side, not the NJ Transit entrance.
down,
You go down LIRR
then you
and
run
to the
through.
under. I literally did that and it was magical. Anyways, that's a
Yeah.
whole deep dive on you, which we
Yeah,
love
and
to
us,
hear.
like I would say. And
Yeah.
then after you left, and I started to do less social, more content, quote unquote, which is like the videos that I do.
Yeah,
But they
love
never
those.
did. They officially. Are you only content?
Only
now?
content now.
Because he also isn't
Are you
on
pumped?
Unnecessary Roughness anymore.
I'm not on Unnecessary Roughness anymore. That was the college football
Yes,
show
that you
podcast we were
were.
talking about. I was on it for 5 years. There was nothing bad that happened. We just like the Brandon's in Chicago, Casey Smith's in Chicago a lot for the show. It wasn't gonna work for us, and then I just thought, hey, I'm going to focus on my stuff, and we went quote unquote our separate ways. But I still love that show and those people.
Awesome.
Now I just do my own stuff. Yeah.
Are you pumped about it? Like, is that?
Yeah, I've been
is
doing
that-
my own stuff for a little bit, and then
Hell
also
yeah.
I still help social, but not as much as like before I was required, which was not bad. It was like,
Yeah.
it was my job, but like it was more so like, oh, if the football game was on, I had to be locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can be a little bit more, but there's
Lackadaisical.
downsides to that because if you're always locked in on the football games, you never miss a story. Like on Monday night, I went to bed at like 9:00, and then Taylor Swift's backup dancer's brother intercepts a pass from Patrick Mahomes, and both of them are at the game.
Yeah.
That would have been like a
Yeah.
massive
Yeah.
viewed TikTok, but I was asleep.
9
So-
p.m. I was asleep.
So
You were catching Z's.
There was
were catching Z's, but they were catching footballs.
There's upsides, there's downsides. But I do like the transition.
And
now.
we're happy you're here.
Yeah, we're so
Thanks
happy.
for being our first guest.
Yes.
Oh,
They're so
I
happy
would've
it's
So
come-
we
here.
have
I would
questions.
come-
So we submitted questions, or I
I would
my
come
fans
on
to
this
give me
anytime
questions.
inside the slot, from Jack
Yeah.
and Jib to inside
Yeah.
the slot.
What's
And
your-
obviously,
this is
I
what
would
we're
say from here, I just have to say this is my moment right now.
Okay.
Like I'm proud of you
Take
guys. I mean, it's
Aw.
crazy. Obviously, I knew Kelly from afar, but for it to evolve to what it is now, it's almost like, oh my God, like it's crazy
Yeah.
and it's awesome. And to see, like, I know last year was hard, not from like, oh, you're working in a coal mine hard, but it was difficult.
And Jack was always there. I would always like text him about this like life, just because it's nice to talk to someone who also does social media.
Yeah.
So he was like always like, you got it, or like you're gonna.
And
He knew.
Yeah,
and
you
You
have a
said
great-
it. What
yeah.
I think I've said to her a lot. If you search her text history, it's like, no, you always like it always work. Not that it always works out, but like she always
Yeah.
figures
Yeah.
it out. Like it'll break in her way. Same with you, and now you're here,
Yeah.
and it's crazy,
It's
and
so exciting.
it's crazy to see everything that's happening, and like it's awesome.
Yeah.
I take joy in it.
Yeah.
Like
Aw.
watching, even if it's
Aw.
from afar.
Yeah.
Yay.
And we appreciate that.
Yeah.
course.
What was I gonna say about just life? Yeah, it's literally crazy. I mean, it all happened so quick. In the summer,
I remember when you were like, Dave wants to call me. What do you think it's about? I was like,
Yeah.
there's no way it's something bad.
Yeah, she thought she was
And
gonna get
then you
fired.
texted me back, and
And I
you're
was
like,
like, you want-
LOL, this is insane. And then told me about you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh
and
my
then I
God.
met you, and not that I was like nervous to meet you, but like you were
But I
like the
get
first
it.
person
Well, I
I'm
mean,
meeting.
yeah.
And I've like seen you on the screen the whole time, and then I met you, and I was like, I remember my first thing to Manny. I was like, he is such a genuinely good guy. Like
Thank
he
you,
is
thank
so
you.
he was like
genuine.
laying
like-
down, taking it out.
Yeah, you were literally passed out in the room, and I'm like, hey Jack, like my name's Smelly.
No, I got up.
You-
Don't
you
make it
got
seem like I
up.
didn't get up.
But
You did it.
you're just a nice guy.
Yeah, you have a
and
great aura.
You're very
You
comfortable
do.
to be around.
Yeah.
Yes, I try to be that
Yeah.
for everybody. Well, some people I don't like, but you guys are.
Who do you not like?
Name them.
Well, here I like most people, to be honest.
Yeah.
But if someone does him wrong,
Then
Then-
Yeah, but like, there's like.
you're
right now,
facing
I've-
Jack and
he
Mac.
has this list,
I do have a list.
and it's called like
The list.
the list,
And
and
people have
it's a
wronged,
magical list.
people have wronged me. Things have not turned out well for them. It's almost like
Like
this
once
aura
their
of-
name goes on the list, shit
Not
goes
good.
wrong.
But there hasn't been somebody who's wronged me in a while.
But Jack
Wow.
also had some hesitation about Kelly and I working together because he was scared that our friendship couldn't handle it.
Oh, we were
that is
fine.
something
Do
that I
you
was
now
concerned
that
about.
you know us, that you think that we can do this?
I think I didn't see the vision as much. My first concern was, hey, you're at Barstool, right? And it's like you have this world. And the concern that I would have had for you being at Barstool was, hey, the issue sometimes with people at Barstool is they make Barstool their whole life.
Yeah.
And then when you don't have this separation,
It's
it can
hard.
It can get hard because if you don't have separation, if things are going bad at work, then things are going bad
Bad.
in your whole,
Your whole
life.
life.
But people at, and it's
In any
it's a-
job.
in any job, but at Barstool, it's kind of like it's a little bit more of a lifestyle brand, lifestyle job, more so than a job where, let's say you were at a top accounting firm or something, like you can kind of separate. It's like no one really wants to talk about
Yeah,
work.
no.
But if all your friends were from accounting and that job, then it would get a little bit more difficult. I was a little bit concerned that would then enter from Barstool. There's this separation into then Maddie's entire life. But now that I think about it, specifically the vision of you guys travel a lot and whatnot, and also
Can't be solo.
you can't be solo, and the connection is very strong, not from a perspective of like, oh, this friendship is so strong, obviously that, but like the fact that you guys can go to this random school together, it helps. And also you're somebody that I noticed it right away, that it's like you feed off of other people's energy. Not to say you can't be alone, quote unquote, but it's key. Like I couldn't imagine you going to Auburn with like no
With a
offense to a
camera
video
crew,
guy,
great.
but
Yeah,
they're all nice, but like some of
But
them are
alone
like
to be
32-year-old guys that don't like have never really spoke to you.
Yeah.
And also they're probably just like they're like, let's do the shoot and then see ya. Like I don't want
Yeah, it would have been completely
so
undoable.
the vision there from Dave
was
and then
spot
from
on.
you two to understand it was spot on.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it in the moment.
And also what I always say about Kelly and I is also why our relationship is so strong is because we played a college sport together.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So like when you're a teammate with someone for 4 years, we played the same position.
Like,
She was like
you've
better
seen
than
us-
me,
yeah,
but
but
it
you've
didn't
seen us at,
matter. Like
rough spots.
we're doing 300s
yeah.
together. We're getting yelled at together.
Also,
we're on
like-
a bus together. Like it was
Yeah.
just so.
Just
when you-
college in general too. Like even like just like take away like the lacrosse out of it too. Like just going to college with someone, I feel like so bonding because you're really finding yourself and you hit some lows sometimes
Yeah.
and like
Especially for girls too.
yeah.
Because there's a like it's a
Totally.
huge transformation stage, and then also you were there for her during a year where there was like, I mean, not to say like not to write some sob story or whatnot, because obviously it's like this amazing thing that's happening, but that at the same time that's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like your life's changing and these a billion things, and you're like, hey, oh, like I'm getting all these quote unquote followers and whatnot on TikTok, but then it's like you still have school, you still have friends, you still have family, you still have relationships you want to keep, and you want to make sure you're not like, oh, she changed.
Yeah.
But then it's like you're balancing all these things, because if somebody who is having a bad day on a college campus, you're just like, oh, it's having a bad day.
Yeah.
But if somebody that like is really like big and famous or whatnot, then it's like, oh, they're a fucking dickhead. Or
Yeah,
they're,
like they can't have a
whatever.
bad day.
But and that's something that's usually reserved for top tier athletes. But now, obviously, you are a top tier athlete. But more so, it's like you were like I was like in this crazy, weird social media
Her
influencer
athlete thing.
point of view, and also you were at a
World.
school where you were the number one person in Poughkeepsie, New York,
Literally,
by
literally
far.
in Poughkeepsie.
And I don't want to make it like not. I don't want to glaze you too much, but like that is you were like
Yeah.
it wasn't even
Easy.
close.
No,
Yeah.
literally.
No.
Because I mean, it's not like you're at Penn State where it's like, oh,
No, then
there's
there's
the football player.
And
There's
there's
the
a
Yeah.
person
basketball
out, like,
player.
no, it was like literally like no one knew what Marist was.
No.
one knew about Poughkeepsie, and then it was
It's also
like
small.
movie Marist. Like
Yeah.
it was literally like
And
putting
what,
Marist
you
on the
guys went
map.
to the same like 2 bars.
Yeah, 2 bars every
Literally, our
weekend.
senior year we went to like, one bar.
One
every
bar, Mahoney's, an Irish pub,
And
Saturday
everyone,
night.
and I even at Fordham, like I even knew everybody.
Yeah.
Like in Fordham's even bigger than Marist.
It was just so.
And everyone knows everyone.
We gave our all.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't have done another. We're missing alumni weekend, which sucks. But I'm also like I don't even want to go back. Like I'm not ready yet because it was
That's
such
fair,
a
yeah.
different time, and it was just like I feel like we literally gave our all, and like going back is just
Yeah.
I don't know.
And also, but that's not an easy position for you either as a friend, and then for her friend group, because it's like we know Maddie, but then it's like all these weird things are going on, and then also it's like you guys can kind of like always feel like you have eyes on you.
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
but obviously, like you've been completely fine with that because like look at you guys now. But like at school, like that's tough. That's difficult. Like
Yeah.
that's not easy.
You always walk around there, and that
You
at
can't
Marist
go to
being
the-
like
Sometimes
I
it was
know that
yeah.
they're everyone
You
on
can't go to the
watch.
bar and just
Yeah.
like get like
No.
pissed drunk. Like,
Yeah,
you gotta-
no.
Like
I remember
sophomore
Ma-
year
yeah.
me, freshman year me, and like I guess like beginning of junior, you could swing with being like, oh, I'm blacked out. But then like towards the end, I was like, I don't even want to
Yeah.
get super drunk here. And there was
It's scary thinking that people could take like videos of you and
Yeah.
like
our bar
put
did
them-
have no service though, which was like
yeah,
such
which
a
was
bonus.
lit. Yeah.
Because you would leave and be
Also, the
like,
place was like a black hole.
But then also it's like back then it's whatever. But like they could even take something out of context,
So
and then
out
it's
of
like,
context.
oh my god, like how people perceive things is insane. And it never happened in terms of on a broad scale where someone took a video of you and you're like, here's Mubi at the bar being like mean to the bartender.
Yeah.
Or something. When in reality, maybe like the bartender
I'm,
like,
like-
literally took her card and
Yeah.
never to. Now, that didn't happen. I'm just making up a scenario. But
Great scenario.
Hypothetical.
hypothetical.
No, it's
But
totally
it's like that
crazy.
can happen.
Yeah.
Yes, and even moving on from after college, I just made a video about this literally yesterday about how post grad is sort of hard.
Hard for everybody.
Yes, like
Yeah.
post grad, figuring it out, navigating. It's the first time you don't have a routine. You're like, oh, what do I do with myself? Yes, I live a non-normal job life,
Yeah.
but like even I feel like in someone in corporate America just jumping into that, like I have friends who are in it, and I'm like, everyone's having a hard time adjusting.
Yeah. It's also weird too because I feel like whatever your job is, like who your friends were, like either college or high school or whatever, like everyone just has a different thing going on, and you all used to have that like common factor of like you were all in college or you were all at the same college or you're all and now it's like everyone has like their own life and own schedule going on,
people
and it's
could
like
be in different places.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's literally like work weekend. Like in college, it was like, oh, class 3 p.m. Then I'm sitting on the couch.
Sit on the couch.
Yeah.
I know where everyone is.
Yeah.
Now you're like, I just have to control myself for the rest of my life.
One of the nice things about going to school in the New York area is you all end up
In New York.
for the
In
most
New
part
York,
for New
yeah.
York. But like, I have a lot of friends that went to school at Penn State or Indiana. Indiana's a little different because you just go to
Payton.
Chicago.
PSU
But like,
Payton.
let's say go to Iowa.
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Like you guys like
don't see those
may see
people.
each other all together in the same group again like a few times a year.
That's
like,
why
that's what
reunions are,
alumni
like, so
weekend
big.
really is for.
Yeah.
Not for schools like because you like alumni weekends usually it's one weekend that everyone can come together. But at a school like Fordham or a school like Marist, a lot of people are usually in the
And
same.
a lot of people
Yeah.
visit, like even
Mm-hmm.
when we were the seniors, we had so many people that graduated just come on random weekends.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fun.
But postgrad's a weird time. I think
Yeah.
like even like the first and I'm still like I'm older than you guys, 27, but like it's still weird. Like you
Yeah.
just like it's kind of like you still have weird flashbacks where you're like, and maybe for you guys it's like, oh, I have practice in the morning, but for me I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I have a essay due, or like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, tomorrow I have to
Yeah, like I'm
go to
stressing over
class,
something
and then-
that's
but
like,
it's like that. No, that's not your life.
And then you
Yeah.
have to like really carve out, like you don't have a break to be like, oh, this is. I mean, there's Thanksgiving and the holidays, but like in school you had like fall break, and you're like, oh, I'm seeing my family then. Now I'm like, I want to see my family, and then I'm like, wait, I have to get a train, and then I have to do this,
Yeah.
and I'm traveling. It's just like a different.
you also have
new
a lot more
navigation.
responsibility too. Like
Yeah.
it's so
100%.
like so
No,
much
it
more.
is
And
insane.
yeah, and like I feel like from high school to college, like you talk about that transition so much, and you're like, oh my god, I think it's so scared you're going on your own. But then like afterwards, like after college, like that is when I feel like you're so much more on your own.
Oh
then.
no, you are not wrong.
Yeah.
That is such a great point, and it is kind of a nice little segue.
Yeah.
But no one really talks about the first year after college. Like people
No.
talk about the first year at college. It's like here's some tips.
Advice.
Yeah.
No one,
Advice of
there's literally
freshmen.
nothing online that's
No,
like,
no,
here's
no.
advice for when you first graduate.
And
Yeah.
you kind of
It
like
should
have
be
these
like-
moments, and we have this like I feel as if, and I know you guys do too. It's like this crazy job that's we're internally grateful for. The people that have like propped us up, like that follow us, look at us
Yes.
do these stupid things in the grand scheme of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And we're amazing for that. But then there's still these moments where you're like, wait a second, like
Who
when
am
you were
I?
in elementary school, you're like, I'm in middle school soon. Then you're like, no, I'm in high school soon.
Yeah.
And then your high school senior, you're like, college is soon. But then, unless you want to go to law school, medical school, or whatnot,
You're done.
then
you're
it's
done.
kind of just like, when's the next thing? Now,
Yeah.
obviously, for some people, it's you get married, you have kids, but there's no like, oh,
No.
next summer you're getting married with kids. Some people will have that, but
Yeah.
there's
No, it's just an open book. Like it's like you don't know, like
yeah,
what, like
and it's a big year and it's a maturing year and it's not easy. Like anybody who like says it's easy and then
It's just it's an adjustment too, because you're just, especially if you move, then you're like, wait, now
Yeah.
I'm in a new place and I don't know. It's
or
just
also
like
too
a
like I feel
lack
so
of
lucky.
routine.
Like I live with my parents still, but like what if like my parents are like, no, like you can't live here. I'm like what would I
No,
do?
no,
like
no,
I don't
no.
even know. Like
well, even if you like,
I'm sure
are
obviously people have
privileged,
that, yeah.
privileged individual like myself, where you're like you grew up in a house, you had a big room and whatnot,
Yeah.
and then you even move in New York, and even if you have a high paying job, like you have like the smallest room of all time,
Yeah.
and then you're just like, what the fuck?
And then you're like, wait, people. Then I think about the people who stay in New York their whole life and like raise kids in New York, which I think is
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
it's a crazy thing because I bet if you lived in New York and you were raised in New York, you'd be like, it's the best. Like, we didn't have a car, like, no car emissions or like
city
paying
kids
for
are
that.
crazy.
Yeah, but then I bet, but then I would never trade like growing up in the suburbs. It's just like, I
No,
don't
it's
know.
a
The
it's
city's a
complete,
crazy.
city kids and suburb kids
Yeah.
are much different. But
Mm-hmm.
city kids I've found are just like a little bit more insane.
Didn't Timothée Chalamet go to school in the city? Am
Maybe
making
I
that
thought
up?
he grew up for parts of his
Did you-
life in Europe.
Oh, I thought
Well,
he
he's
went to
de-
some
his
specific
mom's
school,
French.
some like dance school.
No, he went to like a really good school in Brooklyn.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Where'd he
He
go?
was just filming a movie in the Lower East Side, and I saw the
Yes.
set.
Where do you go to high school?
Outside of Jack Max.
Well, I went to boarding school.
I said that you went to boarding school.
You did?
Kent.
Yeah, Kent.
Oh, see, I knew it. Yeah.
LaGuardia.
Yes, I
High
knew
school
it because
music.
one of my friends, Maddie Gerard,
Fiello.
huge fan of him, and she was like, it's funny, both her and her boyfriend, their celebrity crushes.
Oh,
Timothée
and then he went to
Chalamet.
Columbia.
So yes, he was really New York. New York, New York,
And then he
New
was
York.
just filming a
In the
video in,
veins
New
and
York.
through and
Okay,
through.
speaking of pop culture people, now I have questions we're gonna ask. you.
Yeah, no, I'm ready for anything.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't
Imagine I
have
was
to
like,
be now.
I need what?
It doesn't have to be now if you don't want to.
I'm ready for anything. And what I was
Yeah.
gonna say was,
Oh.
like, I imagine I was like, actually, I need minute 38 to minute 39 cut.
Cuddy.
You don't
How
have to
long
cut
have we
it.
been talking for? Fun.
We're little chit chatters.
Well, we were chit-chatting for a little bit there.
Yeah,
Well, that
It
was
was
a
fun.
great talk.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
Yeah,
so
yeah. I learned a
informative to
lot.
the people. Okay,
Yeah.
so
I also hope I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, that's what I was trying to.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah,
everyone
you can
is.
finish.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask you and say, did you when you graduated, were you like, whoa, what's going
I had
on?
a really
And how do you feel
weird
now?
graduating year.
Yes, because
COVID?
you were COVID.
COVID.
Yes.
Now everyone's COVID was weird, but
Yeah, I don't want to hear your fucking. No, I'm kidding about COVID.
what are you?
Because I went
you
through
were a freshman.
terrible-
No, I'm not. No, I don't.
COVID,
worry.
high
You've
school-
told
we're
me
not
about
high
your
school
COVID
senior.
year.
Yeah.
A high school senior COVID is worse than a senior in college COVID. I would argue.
That's fair.
I feel like you like literally can't compare it because like that's like senior year of college is literally like your last year of schooling ever, but then like senior year of high school is so monumental that like I literally don't think like they can be compared.
I'm comparing them, and mine's worse.
and I
That's a good, but that's a
agreeing
good,
to
but that's a
disagree.
good take. Like I like that. Like that's like you brought the takes.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's my take.
I would be more on your side, but both are awful. Mine, I graduated 2019. The first summer was great. And the fall happened. And then COVID happened in March.
And then
So it
you
was
just like
kinda
didn't graduate. Did you
weird.
ever? You got your diploma sent to you
No,
probably.
no. I graduated 2019.
Oh.
Then COVID happened March 2020. So I graduated
Oh, so it was your first
9
year.
months after. Or no,
No,
I
it was
graduated
before.
9 months after.
Did you move to the city?
Yes.
Well, that was a huge thing too because a lot of people like embarked on new adventures, and then it was like COVID,
COVID,
done.
yeah. Like my sister was like yanked out of abroad, but I also
My
too,
sister was, too.
Yeah,
My
but I-
sister was in Guinea,
I
Africa.
can't even imagine like
my
imagine
God.
your, this is where I'm thinking. I guess this is like where my take would be like different is like if you're college and you like you need a job after college and now all these companies are like going into frenzies because they can't go in the offices anymore and like I don't even know didn't pay attention to what was going on with hiring then but
was not
like
great.
I'm sure it wasn't
was a
great
weird
like I
time,
know
though,
people were
'cause
moving
The economy
yeah
was quote unquote good, but
yeah.
not really.
I had a lot of people that were like moving out of their apartments in the city, like back into
No,
Long
there was
Island.
a lot of, and then there was a lot of people, and ever since then, like I was lucky. People before COVID were lucky because the hiring from 2020 on, even now, it's really difficult. Like you're graduating.
Yeah,
Like there's people I'm sure you guys are friends with people that are still looking for
Yeah.
jobs.
yeah, it's
I mean-
crazy.
When I graduated, like it felt like everybody was
Yeah.
getting a job.
Which
and
is
that's the
great.
thing too. Like everyone just like I feel like out of college just like expects like you're gonna get a job right away, like right into corporate. But
So
like
that's
it
one
takes
of those
time.
It's tough, and like I'm sure there's people even listening that maybe even they've gotten laid off or they got a job they hate it. It sucks. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of people, and that's why sometimes like, and why I always try to say when we're discussing things when we say oh it's hard and whatnot. There's still like an extreme aspect, specifically me. I feel so lucky, but that doesn't take away basic human emotions and trying to adjust to
Yeah.
because there is still a shared thing that's going on here.
It's so crazy that COVID was literally 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
One
the-
time we
COVID
had a deep
invented-
lore about COVID.
Yeah.
Talk. We could talk about
It
COVID.
literally
You know what's
invented the
crazy?
work
Like
from
the
home.
Rizzler
Yeah.
doesn't remember COVID
Yeah, no.
because he was like 3
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I was just watching a TikTok of this
and playing basketball.
woman who was talking about how she was made like a High School Musical reference to her class, and they're like, "What's that?" Like she was teaching, but she's like, they were 5 when High School Musical came out, or some weren't even born.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Well, that's like when the other day Caroline was like,
there's like kids that are
yeah.
so like
Kids are born right
there's
now.
a kid who was in the Olympics.
That was a COVID baby?
No, I think she was 12, and the skateboarder, she was born
Oh,
in
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
2010.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Those don't really affect me that much. Yes, yeah, so she's
11.
11, so she was born in 2013. But when you hear that, you're a little bit like,
You're good with numbers.
Like, what is
noticed
that?
that just
then?
like
I
that.
did 24
Yeah, but like I
minus
feel like every
11.
you're like 9 months, 15 months, and I'm over here and I'm like, how do you think that fast? I didn't get
That's
there.
literally just
Yeah, that's crazy. Good for her. Yeah, Zhang. All right, should we pan over to the questions?
Okay, let's do
Like
it.
great deep talk, guys. That was
My
Nice.
sister-in-law said favorite pop culture story going on right now. Do you have one that comes to the top of your head?
I haven't talked about it, but I mean, I think the P. Diddy thing's insane.
Oh,
Yeah.
absurd.
insane.
Like
My whole for you
I think
page.
it goes, yeah. I think that's one that I think goes like so deep and so crazy, like the tunnels underneath.
Yes, and have you seen like the Justin Bieber like
yeah, the
stuff?
Justin Bieber. No,
it's sad.
and I think it's even beyond. I usually try to touch things that are a little bit more like funny or like,
Yeah.
they're serious. There's ones that I'll do serious stuff on, but this one is, and also I think
It's hard to touch on.
and
Yes.
the speculations can go deep in a way that is scary, and then
Yeah.
also it's like a little bit like that may be above. You don't even know what to say. But
Yeah.
yeah, I saw today his first trial date will be in May 2025.
Wow.
Wow.
2025 sounds crazy to say,
Yeah.
but all that being said, P. Diddy probably my favorite right now, and then
That's if you just let's clip that out of context.
P. Diddy probably my favorite right now.
Lieutenant Dan
Oh,
was
love
pretty
that.
funny. But
There's
some people
another
are saying-
hurricane coming.
I know.
Helene?
These
Already.
hurricanes are crazy.
Helena?
Milton. No, Helene was was North Carolina. Milton just happened. And now there's
What's
like
the one in Florida?
Isaac.
Is that the one in Florida? My grandma who lives in
Milton.
northern Florida is literally getting evacuated, and like that's
Where in
nor-
northern Florida?
Jacksonville, and like
Okay, yeah.
they've had like through Sandy, through everything, like never had to evacuate because it's like the part there in Florida, like it doesn't get that
Yeah, no,
crazy,
Jacksonville
but
usually doesn't.
yeah, but she literally got the call like they have to be evacuated. And did you see that one clip? That woman was like, if you're told to evacuate and like you don't get out, like you're gonna die.
The
But,
Tampa.
so there's also
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
Floridians who are like, you see this house, my man built this with his 2 front hands and it's made of concrete.
hands.
And like, I'm not
There was
leaving.
people like that in New York too when Sandy came.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
like, I'm not leaving. And then there was some like no, the hurricanes are awful. Another story that I really like. I don't like the hurricane stories, but the story that I do like is
So he likes P. Diddy and hurricane.
now this is crazy after I just said I love the P. Diddy story.
My favorite's P. Diddy.
I'm like I'm eternally still a mega fan of like the Rizzler, Big Justice, AJ. They were in
Yeah.
the office. I've
You
met
are?
all of
I
them.
thought you were just talking about hurricanes.
No, he's saying his other one that he loves.
Hurricane
Oh.
Big Justice
Yeah.
is coming to bring the boom.
Hurricane
And I-
Riz.
Boom,
Boom.
Yeah, he's bringing the boom.
No, but I gotta say,
He's so funny.
What?
Oh yeah, I mean, sorry. It
Hurricane
wouldn't be
Justice.
funny. It just would be if they named it Hurricane
Them-
Justice. They're like, here comes the boom, like that.
And then the memes would be crazy. Yeah, I find them funny.
Dark
but
humor.
I do think like, how will these kids turn out?
Like, messed up.
We'll see.
Think? No, I want to.
I think that they're going to be like, need to go into therapy probably soon. Like, that's a crazy way to grow up.
I'm just like, also, I'm like, do you think he's gonna be like? Do you think he's gonna be Rizzy still in high school?
I don't know. He could. Like, who
He
knows
could
how he's
make
gonna grow
enough
up.
Yeah.
money to like drop off the face of the earth and then like go by a different name and then
Well,
Or he
the
can pull a
Rizzler
JoJo
is
Siwa.
enough, I think, young enough that once it dies down, eventually, it's just kind of over.
he's gonna kind of be like Maddie
it'll
B
be-
Raps.
Yeah, Matty B raps.
Yeah,
Like
he was.
Natty B Rap's like normal, or like the Vine sensation. I guess they're more than that though. So like I don't know. I guess he'll just like die, not physically die, but like
The Rizzler's
dim
more.
down.
The
Maddie's
Rizzler
predicting
seems
the
like,
Rizzler's gonna die.
The Rizzler seems like it's truly just like the kid being a kid.
Yeah.
Big Justice and AJ, it seems a little bit more like.
Have you seen the videos of them like like
when they
doing
say, like,
it,
do it again?
and they're like do it again? He's like double chocolate chunk, and he's like one more double chocolate, and there's like okay, one more.
I will
Double.
say,
Can you pull that up? That video.
when they-
3, 2, 1, boom! No, we're here with Jay Kinda Funny. No, we're here with Jay Kinda Funny is first. Okay.
We're here with Jay Kinda Funny.
And this is boom. Eric, one at a time. Okay. We're here with Jay Kinda Funny, and this is boom. And then I'll say this boom. You say the chicken maker or the double chunk chocolate.
Ready?
I just get back into it like.
So you have to understand.
That's
for
so funny.
The father, he comes from like a wrestling background, and he was a professional wrestler and whatnot, and that's kind of what he. It's all about being kind of. It's not fake, but it's kind of, they call it kayfabe in wrestling, where you kind of play up a character.
Love that.
Like,
Everyone
wait,
has
what's
their.
the
What you're
the-
about to say? Sorry, you go.
WWE? Is it like that?
Yeah.
Don't
well,
get
like
him
they're
started
like
on
WWE.
WWE.
Well, that's what he did. But now
Oh,
he's going to do one more wrestling match in AEW, which is kind of like, think if there was 2 lacrosse leagues, it's just another one. A little less popular in WWE, but it's still popular.
Okay.
So maybe like the Mac.
Oh, so it
Probably.
would be like a conference. It's like the SEC is bigger than the MAC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were
By a
talking before we
landslide.
went on this tangent. You were literally talking something about hurricanes, and then we went into.
No,
No, he was
You already
saying his
said
3
it?
favorite pop culture things, and he said they were number 3 after hurricanes.
no. I did never say hurricanes were my favorite pop culture thing.
No,
guys
you said my
thought-
favorite thing about hurricanes, and then she was like, "Imagine Big Justice, this, and that," and then we went on a whole tangent.
No, I said my favorite thing is not hurricanes.
No, but
what
your
I
favorite
do
thing
love-
about hurricanes. But,
I don't have any favorite thing about hurricanes. Oh, Lieutenant Dan, maybe?
I don't know. All right, whose DMs are you sliding into, Jack Mac?
Who's?
Currently. Do you have any? Are you dating around?
Am I dating around?
Yeah. Did you bring a
here and there.
Date to the Mets game.
I
Not to put you
forgot.
on.
No. I did bring somebody to the Mets game, but
You didn't bring Tan Day, and he was upset.
I know. But if that girl canceled, I would have.
Yeah. Hey, God, take the girl.
I usually don't. I would follow somebody, and then if they
And then
follow
DM
back,
them?
then I would DM. But usually, if they don't follow back, then there's probably no interest.
Yeah.
But then obviously you can DM, and then there
That's
may
your cue.
still be no interest. But yeah.
Is that like your go-to DMing?
I still like I would go like if there was somebody on the subway or like grocery
Yeah.
shopping and
I
whatnot,
think
I would
that's
say
so
hi.
cute.
I think you get better success that way.
Yeah.
And then also
That's
you
so
can kind
romantic.
of be like, but you can like
Jack
I missed
taxed me
it.
on the subway. I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
tapped you on the
Yeah, and
subway?
he's like,
Subway's
you're-
a little bit more difficult because you're on.
Yeah, and you're like
Yeah.
trying to, or like not
One of our
follow.
friends
them.
I know.
outside the
I would say
platform.
like if I was on the subway and it seems as if like we were and it's clear there's no like danger or anything, but like if I'm on the street or something, if somebody catches my eye or like I'm getting a coffee or whatnot, I would definitely say hi.
Yeah, you're very forward.
But sometimes that results in a like get away from me or
Yeah,
like
and then
whatnot.
it's
But
like-
you can't take that personally because sometimes people are just
Yeah.
like they're like a little
Hey.
bit weird, like especially if you're on the street in New York City or like. And then obviously I go to bars and whatnot, and like like.
Yeah, where do you
meet
go
me-
out? Do you go out in like the West Village?
Sometimes West Village, East Village.
Wait, you
I
know
don't go out that much though.
I just found out that 310 Bowery and like 82 Stanton were like under the same.
Yes, and they
management.
are that
It's
company.
like a Barstool brand.
That company
Runs Barstool
runs
Nashville.
Barstool Nashville, Barstool Scottsdale. They're the best Bowery group.
Yeah.
I like
Let's
310
get
Bowery.
down.
Common Ground's always cool.
CG, Spaniard.
Blonde.
Blonde?
Yeah.
That was the question. Blonde or brunette?
Oh, blonde or brunette? I know who sent that in.
Who?
Lauren.
Wait, I didn't find it.
No.
Oh yeah,
blonde.
Lauren
Smart.
did.
Lauren.
Now you being. How do you know?
She sent it to me. She sent a screenshot.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, Jack Mac.
Lauren, she was in the hurricane, but she made it through.
Oh, congratulations for making
Yeah,
it out.
Lauren.
All that being said, Blonde is a bar, kind of clubbish. I haven't been to Acme in a little while. Acme's pretty good because Acme had a weird when I was younger, it was good, and then it became kind of like an underage bar, but now it's like kind of cool again.
Have you ever?
Lucy's is pretty cool. Little Sister's tough to get into as a guy, so it's always tough.
Yeah.
Have you
I'm
ever
not
been
really
to?
a big clubber, I don't think. Like, I like
Me
a
either.
great
I
dance
also
floor,
like sometimes
but-
like I like. I'm not gonna go out. Like, I'm not a big like, oh, let's just go out the boys guy.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna go out with like the boys, like
It's
I'd
gotta
rather,
be
like, go
my
and
birthday
watch,
party.
Like watch
football.
like it's an initiative, like a birthday
Yeah.
party, or like if someone's in town or whatnot.
Yeah.
But if it's just like I'm not a big like, oh, let's go out and get some pussy.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Imagine-
I wish I
imagine
never
me
heard
and
you
were
say
like,
that.
Yo, let's
Yo,
go out.
yeah,
Let's go out and
Let's
let's
go
get
out.
some action tonight.
I would if you guys were like, let's go out. I would go out with you guys because that's a opportunity that doesn't come around. A
Should we
lot.
get drinks after this?
After this? No, I can't.
Why, you have another date?
No, I actually really need to go home, clean my apartment.
Oh god, is it
I just
dirty?
did that.
It's not dirty, but
Yesterday.
it's getting to the point where it's like a few more days, it's a little gross.
Yeah.
And if I go and get a drink, then it's like, then you start shooting some texts. And you're like, you want to get a drink too, and then it's
Yeah.
And then
the
it's-
whole night's ruined.
Yeah.
Then you come home to a dirty
You gotta
apartment.
stick to the plan.
And
good.
I
That's
wanted to go to
self-control.
the gym later too, so it was a whole thing.
Have you ever heard of the theory where you should keep your apartment as clean, like 10 minutes away from being guest ready always?
Yes, and I need to be better at that. That if there's a red flag about me, it's I'm not the best cleaner.
Yeah. Well, I've actually like been
Let's do
having
it.
that thought. Like, I would love to have like a clean girl aesthetic and like my room be all like.
Also,
10 minutes
like
ready.
I'm not
It never
saying
is.
I don't bring a lot of guests over, but if you do bring somebody home, you don't want to bring somebody to a dirty apartment. That's
No.
gross.
Well, yeah,
Why is
That's when you
Peyton
take everything
laughing?
and shove it in the hamper, stuff it in the closet.
But if you're too clean, that's also kind of a red flag. Like it's like
Yeah, if something's not
that is
like,
a really good amount of clean, I think.
Yeah, I'm clean.
I'm
I'm definitely.
Yeah, I'm more of like like I start out clean and then give it to the end of the week, and then it looks like a bomb went off in my room, and then you're like, there's no room to sleep.
What do you call the people that you make? You don't call anybody that you make the TikToks to like a name. Like you don't have like the gyms.
I don't. Sam.
Sam
Sorry, I
Martin,
just yelled
shout
that.
out.
She went to the. Sorry, that's another red flag. I talk so loud.
So loud, you can never like whisper
inside
with
voice.
him.
But the good thing is, if you hear my voice, you're like, oh, he's around.
Yeah, it's your call.
But
It's your Batman sign.
yeah, but Sam, who works, he's a producer for BFFs, does a lot of stuff for Dave. He's essentially Dave's producer
He had a
too.
cool outfit on.
He has been trying to call my friends the Jackers.
The Jackers.
And so I've been trying to like, well, like
you
when
could-
people will comment stuff, I'll respond and be like, yeah, the Jackers, we up. And
That's
what
kind
now?
of funny.
I'm gonna start commenting and be like,
The Jackers.
Yeah.
And I think,
#1 Jacker.
so I guess maybe we're trying to do
or like
that.
maybe you could do like
I've never gotten a name that like has
Sticks.
stuck.
Yeah.
the Max.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Max, but that's like,
Or like the green screen. Like I'm trying to think of
but the only
like
thing with the Max is people are going to spell it wrong.
MACS.
But
What
then
up,
people-
Max?
But people will spell it
Okay.
MACK, and that's a little off. Like,
Jackers. Sounds like Jacker.
Yeah,
Jacker.
I think that's is it a sexual innuendo?
no. I think it's like he really wants it only to be for like.
Well, I think
men.
you deserve people to be like,
I know you are
So
right.
the
'Cause
men
people
are
who
the
see you would
jackers,
be like,
and the
oh.
women are the master.
No, you would no.
no, but like when you're at a Mets game and they're like, oh, like it's the best.
But
And I'm like,
Jack
oh, they're
Mac
just a bunch of
comes
like they're
off-
gyms.
But Jack Mac comes off the tongue so well.
Yeah.
We're Jack Max. We're Jack's Max.
We're Max Packs.
What? Max Pax?
Yeah, like a pack of Max.
I think you should go with, but they should be the Max.
Oh, like Pac-Man, Mac-Man.
I think because you're
Mac
Jack.
Man.
I
The
like
Mac
these
Man.
ideas.
The
I like
Mac
these
Man.
ideas. The Mac Man?
That's you. That's
Like
where it gets
Pac-Man?
like
Mac
you have like an
Man?
army of Mac men.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like the Minifans.
Even like that one. The Jack Rabbits.
Jack Rabbits. Jack Rabbits isn't awful.
Kelly doesn't have any names. Hers are like this. The poop.
The Stinkies.
The
The
stinks.
poopies?
The Stankers.
One girl went up to Kelly that was like talking to me, and she's like, "What's your name again? Stinky."
She's like, you stinky. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to smell up your fucking face, bitch. No, I didn't say that. I didn't even say that at all. I was like, I am stinky.
No, you like smelly.
Yeah, I was
no,
like, smelly.
but I will say, at the Mets game, the person I was with, she said she was like, it's like so funny that people come up to you and then like dap you up, like they know you. But what I was trying to explain, and I think that probably happens to you too, but for girls more, it's like a hug.
Yeah.
but it's like you want it to be like that because you want to almost be like a friend to somebody.
Yeah, you want them
So
to
like
be
if a guy
comfortable.
comes up and taps you up, it's kind of like a sign of like, oh, like
Respect.
She was saying like it seems like you guys are on the same like football team or basketball team.
Literally, because that's what it does. It's
That's
a
a funny way
parasocial
to say it,
relationship.
yeah.
But it's yeah, exactly. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, like that's the goal. So, but when you bring up the Mets game, it would be cool to be like, yo, I'm a Jacker or something.
Yeah.
But they just say Jack Mac, and like Jack Mac does sound
Yeah.
like it rhymes. Jack Mac.
Like we love. I guess
That's
like
why
everyone,
I
everyone
picked
doesn't
that.
need a name.
Obviously, my last name's McGuire, so it's like it
Yeah.
goes with that.
Yeah. Well,
Well, there's a bunch of Jack Macs.
so many. Irish lad. One of the questions was, do you consider yourself a ginger?
No, but sometimes it does.
Because your
feel-
beard's
I
ginger.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like your hair does not look ginger at
Sometimes
all.
during the summer, but
but
sometimes people
your
do.
beard
You've
maybe
called
a
me a
little.
ginger before.
For sure.
Like
And there's so many. First of all, remember when I was the one to make his hair go like that.
Yeah, what was the hair timeline? Was that like hard
just-
emotionally when you had to cut it all off?
No, I think it was
He
time
literally
to go.
did it in
Keep it?
1 second.
I think I just
Was
was
it?
like,
It was
your
too-
hair
oh,
long
really
all
hot.
through
it was
college
too
too?
long. No, it was the first time I ever grew it out, and then it was really hot in the summer, and I was ready to cut it, and then I was just like, let's make it like a video and whatnot, and then also the first haircut that I got after it, I didn't love, but it was whatever. But now I like this better. They're like, this was how my hair was like all through like college, high school, and whatnot.
Yeah,
I like it better. I think it looks better too. I'm happy I grew my hair out. I could grow it out again. My hair grows so fast, but
And it's thick.
it's thick. It's so thick, which is good though.
Yeah, thick hair is great.
Yeah, and like my
And
hairline's
you'll have
still
it
good.
for a long time.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
totally still have hairline.
Let's go.
All
hair.
right, well.
Me showing off. What? We only got 3 questions.
Oh, sorry. I'll keep
No, it's
going.
okay. No,
I
no,
feel
no,
like
no.
we let me just look at this. There's not really that many good ones.
I have a question. Ass or titties? Just
That's
kidding.
insane.
I'm kidding. Don't answer that. Okay. What's your
Hair care
go-to
routine?
line
My go-to line,
to like a girl?
like a pickup line.
Yeah. Like if you were trying to pick me up right now, and we're like sitting next to each other.
Sitting next to each other. I mean, I'd
Listen.
probably pick something out about you.
Oh, and then.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I don't have like a pickup line. I think the easiest thing is just like if you can't think of anything, you just say like, hey, like
one
you
of-
seem like a go-to. It's just kind of like I don't want to say manipulative, but you just like, oh, I love your energy.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
then
That's
look at like
like
no,
good.
no, she liked it too.
I'd probably be like, you do?
That's such a cop out.
What do you think?
Some guy came up to me. This is the story I was gonna tell you guys. Some guy came up to me on the LIR today. Can I say his full name? I'll just say it. Frederick Alfonso Edmund III.
Okay.
Wow.
He came up to me, and this was his line, and he was like, "Your eyes are so captivating." Like,
Oh, wait, so-
they're telling me a story, and then he was like, "Can I guess your life like based off of your eyes?" I
What?
told him I was Italian and Irish, but he convinced me I'm Spanish. He said if I did a DNA test, he could take my DNA. That's when I was like, all right, back up, Fred. But that I'm Spanish from the Mediterranean Sea, and that I have a story probably from rags to riches. I have trauma
Was he-
in my eyes.
Mentally ill?
I don't. I
How old
literally
was this
couldn't
person?
tell. He was definitely in his 70s.
Was he? Did he ask you? Oh my
He served
god!
in,
Wait,
he was
so
a
this-
first responder in 1953. So do the math, Max.
1953.
what does that mean?
53 would be 47 plus 24, which is 71.
Oh yeah, so that was a guess on my end.
Wait,
he
47.
was
yeah.
really cute though. He was like he was this little black guy and he had like little plaid on and like
If he was
he
a
had
first
bright blue
responder
eyes.
then he may be like his 80s, 90s.
Yeah, he's
Funny thing about I wouldn't say so. The girl that I went to the Mets game with has very similar eyes to you,
Mm-hmm.
and when I left to go to the bathroom, a guy that was sitting in front of us turned around and said, when I was in the bathroom,
Which
to
is,
her,
I hate that.
That's calculated.
I think that's so,
It's so
like.
and then he goes, your eyes, wow. I just had to say. And then when
Did she tell you when you came back?
yeah, and then I was just like, he should have just said it like when I was
Yeah.
here. Like also, like it's not like I was gonna be like,
Would you like-
well, what
yeah.
the fuck, bro?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
You
Bro,
take
you
your drink,
compliment
you're
about
like,
girls' eyes?
yeah, what the fuck? I would never do eyes though, cause like I think, at least in my like you can compliment eyes, but as the first compliment, it's kind of like lame because you didn't pick your eye color.
Yeah, I agree. We
But
talk
if
about
you have
that
a
lot.
nice
You
outfit,
can pick your
Yeah.
eye color?
No, like you like.
so you picked,
Yeah.
you didn't pick your eye color, right?
Yeah.
but you did pick your outfit for the day, and I could be like, oh, I really like how you
energy
paired
you get.
like
Yeah.
those,
Your boots
like
with your
that's
sweater.
what
yeah,
my
yeah,
sisters all-
and it's
we
like
say it
that
all the
really
time.
like
Yeah.
like I love like a fashionable girl or whatnot. So if you compliment things,
He loves the fashion.
You know what my
girl.
brother uses? My brother and his friends, they're big. They'll go up. They're like, listen to this line. Like, this is it right here. They're like, great eyebrows.
no, that's a thing. No,
Is
no,
that
no,
a
I knew
thing?
you were
What
gonna
is
say
that?
So there's a guy who's actually he's a great YouTuber. He's a nice guy. His name's Nick. I forget his last name.
I think
He's big on YouTube. He has like 700,000
Yes,
subscribers.
okay, I'm
And
definitely
he
talking
used to date Sky Bree. Yeah, whoever that
I
is.
don't know her, but I know him.
And that was his go-to pickup line
was nice.
on the video. So I bet your brother
Definitely.
but eyebrows is not a bad one because
Yeah,
like
'cause you have a
people
little
take care of their
control,
eyebrows
yeah.
and whatnot. That guy's awesome though. His name's Nick. I forget his last name. He's a funny guy. And
Yeah.
he does a lot of like vlog style
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
But
And he's really
one of his
different.
videos was like,
It's-
"This is my pickup line." So it grew from just him from that to like now. How old's your brother?
He's 20.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and like now, and
that-
like his
that's
whole
the-
group is
He's like,
doing it.
nice
Yeah.
eyebrows.
But the biggest thing, like honestly, like I mean, from a, like if you can like bars are different, but if you like can like work up the confidence, have the balls to go and just say
Yeah.
hi to somebody like in the middle of the day or whatnot. Now, if the person looks distressed, you shouldn't do it. Or if they have big headphones on or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like at the gym, like and they're sweaty, probably not.
Yeah,
but
that's-
like if the moment's right, you should just like go
Say
and do
hi.
it. Yeah, just say
100%.
hi.
Also, too, like from a girl stance, like if someone said that to me, like I honestly think I would like low key laugh because I feel like I would not have expected that, like not knowing that.
I think that was part of it. Well, that guy's like
And that's such a
great
random
line.
thing. Like
What,
that's
the
such
eyebrows?
a like
Yeah.
that's so niche that like if someone was like,
That's gonna be
you have great
patched
eyebrows,
soon,
I'd
though.
probably be like, oh my.
That's gonna
like,
be patched soon.
That's
though.
gonna be like, put the fries in the bag.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Yeah.
patched soon. Like enough, like so many people are doing it that it's just gonna get around,
And
then
then
like
gonna
you're
ruin
gonna
it.
go to a girl and say that, and she's gonna be like,
She's gonna be like,
"That guy just said that to me,"
Yeah.
and then you're like, "I'm cooked."
Yeah.
So it's patched. It's like in a video game when no one's gonna get that, but like in a video game, if there's a cheat code, they go into the servers and they make sure it doesn't happen anymore.
Oh, so they patch
That's how
it
you
up.
patch it.
Patched it up.
Patched it up.
Will you come to Penn State with us on our
What date is that?
11/2? 11/2. That was one of the questions, by the way.
I would go to Penn State.
And we're having one of our it girl
We can do
parties.
We can do a costumes. All
I
of
would
us.
love to go to.
That would be so
at
Yes,
cool.
and it's
11/2.
Peyton's alma mater.
It's Ohio State v Penn State.
Yeah, I would love to go to that.
And there's gonna be cups.
On
with
the
Madison.
record, Jack Mack may be there if you want to
Woohoo!
join our flights. Okay, let's do like maybe 2 more questions.
Yeah, well, if they book me, like it takes me to even get like a subway card from this company. It's like pulling out teeth. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm always battling.
Always. The defining moment that got you to where you are.
Defining moment.
Do you have a
Jeez.
defining moment?
Birth. Wah, wah, wah.
I mean, I would say. I mean, I got like a really bad concussion when I was in high school, and I like you kind of realized after that, like during when I was recovering from the concussion, I started to like write
Ooh.
online and do blogs and articles about sports. And then from there, I kind of liked it. And then I started to do comedy when I was in college.
Oh,
as a
yeah.
freshman.
That's a deep
stand-up
lore.
comedy for 2 years. And about 2 years in, I thought, oh, okay, that's enough. I thought I was okay.
Yeah.
But I was not to the point where
Showstopper.
yeah. And I knew how hard it was going to be. But because of what I did when I was younger, I thought I can take what I learned here and do it on the internet. And then from there, it's kind of gone from here. I mean, I could honestly just say like, oh, TikTok's been a big definer for me, but I would say that probably.
Wow.
Nice. That was like a good specific.
Yeah, that's a quick genesis, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Well, thank you so much, Jack
We
Mack.
talked for a bit.
We
We
did
did.
for being on our podcast, the
Inside
second
the
ever
Slot.
episode of Inside the Slot.
Inside the slot.
Soon we'll have maybe a little sponsorship or something,
Yeah.
and it's been
Wait.
fun.
I appreciate everyone who listened, and I
Yes.
would love to come to Penn State if things worked out.
Yes.
If not, though, that was something.
We could totally bring you out. Like
Yeah.
imagine it's like we keep it low key. I mean, the listeners will
You're
keep it a
so
secret,
crowd
and then we go up
surfing.
on stage, and then you like come out behind the DJ booth,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "What?" Everyone's
And
like,
you're wearing like
"We're the Jackers."
Yeah.
Sam
Yeah.
comes out with the
Jackers.
Jacker.
Yes.
Sam even made a flag.
The Jack Boxers. Oh wait, sorry, Jack Box. I was kind of thinking that.
But
Thank you.
thank you for having me.
Oh, wait,
and I
one
can come
final
on
question.
anytime.
What's your go-to drink to get you inside the slot?
You know it. You should know it too.
Tequila soda.
Yeah. I'm a tequila soda
Or
through and through.
how about this question? What do you define? Maybe we should ask all of our guests. Like, what's a slot for you?
a slot for me?
What's getting like how many tequila sodas to get?
Yeah,
into
no,
the
I know
slot?
what you're saying. I think I can get inside the slot without a tequila soda.
Like you can mentally get
Like if
there?
you
No,
hear
like
it, like,
get in like
hype
a
music.
like
tipsy.
no, like yeah, kind of like
Oh.
like if it was like if you go out and whatnot
Like
and
some
you're like, oh, I'm not
Heinz.
gonna drink tonight.
Twisted tea.
But probably once I have probably 2 or 3, I'm like, okay, like let's get groovy.
You're
and
in the
like,
groove.
and you can kind of say, okay, guys, like we're gonna stay out for a little bit longer. Like once you get to 3,
Yeah.
it turns from, oh, I just had a drink to
Or I'll be
We're
we're in the
going
slot
out.
now.
Now I'm in the-
we outside.
we outside.
We
in the
slaughter
slot.
gang.
This Justin Jack Max slot is activated.
We that sounded insane. We outside. Thanks for
And he loves P
Thanks for
Diddy.
coming on. We're just gonna finish it up and then
Okay. Bye-bye.
bye. So fun. Okay, thanks
me
for
hanging.
listening to the
You left me
second
hanging.
episode of Inside the Slot.
That was so fun.
That was so fun. Jack's great.
Yeah, he's great.
His stories are sometimes long. To be honest. I was literally yawning, but
But he's so
he's so
motivational.
kind. I
He
don't mean
is.
to be mean, but I'm not trying to be mean. I
Teddy
was just
bear.
my,
No, you're
my
just
mind started to
honest.
wander.
Yeah. That happens sometimes.
And that's how I was like, that'll be the last question of the night.
Yeah, that was a
And
great job.
That
You
was
did so
great.
good.
And so did you.
Yeah. Now we're gonna go outside the slot. You stay in.
Okay. Thanks for listening to the second episode of Inside the Slot. Sponsored maybe by someone soon. We're going to keep on rolling. Next week, we might have our sisters on for a little sister edition, which literally might be like a 2-hour episode. So stay tuned for the next episode.
Yes, and I hope you enjoyed this one.
We love you, slutters.
Slaughter gang.
Slots. We love you, slots.
You little slots.
Slaughter,
You're such a little
slaughter
slot.
gang.